So the Vikram lander has traversed more than 800 kilometers now. Remember, the distance of the final descent, the last 15 minutes, was about 1,000 kilometers. The altitude currently is about 5.5 kilometers from the lunar. So in fact, it is 2.5 kilometers from the lunar surface. The horizontal velocity has been reduced to just 130 meters per second. The vertical velocity at 26 meters per second. The fine braking phase is now beginning, ladies and gentlemen.
To the moon's surface.
We are very close to the moon's surface, just 2 kilometers away from the moon's surface. The fine braking phase begins. As you see claps going around there, the young scientists, you can see it in their eyes. You can see the Prime Minister joining from Johannesburg. There's a live feed which enables him to watch this live. The horizontal velocity is down to just 30 meters per second. The vertical velocity at 23 meters per second. And it's just 1 kilometer, ladies and gentlemen. The Chandrayaan is just 1 kilometer from the lunar surface.
The final phase of the power descent, which is going to be the vertical descent phase.
We are now in the final phase. The vertical descent is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the live animation from the Mission Operations Control Room in ISRO headquarters. As you see applause there at the mission headquarters. Horizontal velocity 0.4 meters per second. Altitude less than 1 kilometer per second. The scientists there know how big a moment this is. This is an incredible moment. 800 meters. Remember, the final kilometer is what really it boils down to.
We are in the vertical descent phase 1.
It'll be the vertical descent. And then finally,
the
lander legs will open down, will power down,
and we are
then touch down
approaching
on the lunar surface.
जी, आप अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर का हाइट लगातार कम होता जा रहा है। इस समय हम लैंडिंग साइट के जस्ट ऊपर हैं और इस समय इसकी ऊंचाई लगभग 600 मीटर के आसपास है। इस फेज के दौरान लगभग 150 मीटर के ऊंचाई पे पहुंचने के बाद लैंडर अगेन लगभग 20 से 22 सेकंड के लिए हॉवरिंग करेगा।
We are above the landing site. The horizontal as well as the vertical velocity is now being constantly reduced. And the lander module has begun its descent towards the landing site.
जी हाँ, आप अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं ये जो पथ निर्धारित किया गया है, लैंडर पूरी तरह से उसी को ही फॉलो कर रहा है। इस समय हम लगभग 200 मीटर की हाइट से भी कम आ चुके हैं। अब हम ये देख सकते हैं कि हम लगभग 150 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे हैं चंद्रमा के सतह से।
We are approaching the vertical descent phase 2, which will have the lander module hovering at nearly 150 meters above the lunar surface.
जी हाँ, आप इस तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट को सुन सकते हैं, जो कि सेकंड हाइब्रिड फेज के कंप्लीट होने के बाद इन सारे वैज्ञानिकों के द्वारा की जा रही है। जी हाँ, आप अगर फिर से ध्यान से देखें तो एल्टीट्यूड पुनः कम होता जा रहा है। अभी हम लोग लगभग 135 मीटर।
The sensors that are updating at this point are providing confirmation of the safety of the landing site.
As expected, the retargeting is going on and this is a very good signature for the lander. अभी आप ये देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 65 मीटर के आसपास बची हुई है।
Currently, only 2 engines are now being fired. and we are nearly at zero velocity, vertical and horizontal. We were hovering and now we are approaching the moon's surface.
धीरे धीरे लैंडर की वेगमान को कम किया जा रहा है और हम अब लगभग 50 मीटर से भी कम आ चुके हैं.
We can see the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who is here to encourage us, and he is critically looking at the visuals.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल.
Gentlemen, an incredible
People are
moment
applauding.
for
Let us
India.
all wait to
It
hear
is a moment that
from
we
the
have all
Secretary,
been
Department
waiting
of State and
for.
Chairman ISRO.
The Chandrayaan-3 has landed on the moon, and let me go
Lander
across
module पूरी
to
तरह
our
से
newsroom as well.
safely
This
और
is an
softly
incredible
चंद्रमा
moment
के
for all
सतह
of
पे
us.
land हो चुका है.
We here are celebrating, ladies and gentlemen.
गर्व की
The
बात है.
Chandrayaan-3 has made a successful touchdown on the moon surface, and what an incredible moment this is for ISRO, for India's space scientists, and for all of us here at CNN News 18. Unbelievable scenes, ladies and gentlemen. The ISRO scientists have made all of us proud. 1 billion of us are cheering in every street corner here in our newsroom. We are cheering along with the rest of this country. What a proud moment. Ladies and gentlemen,
Soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon. Sir, I request our Honorable Prime Minister to address us and bless us. Thank you, sir.
मेरे प्यारे परिवारजनों, जब हम अपनी आंखों के सामने ऐसा इतिहास बनते हुए देखते हैं तो जीवन धन्य हो जाता है. ऐसी ऐतिहासिक घटनाएं राष्ट्र जीवन की चिरंजीव चेतना बन जाती है. ये पल अविस्मरणीय है.
the Prime Minister there addressing the ISRO scientists. What a moment, ladies and gentlemen. India has conquered the moon. I want to take you back to our newsroom. What a moment this is for all of us across the CNN News 18 newsroom, as well as, of course, for 1 billion plus people across India. We have our guests here. Take a look at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable scenes that you're seeing from the CNN News 18 newsroom. In every street corner, in every nook and cranny of this country, you will have this moment etched in our collective memories, in our collective conscience, because this is unbelievable. The Prime Minister continuing to speak.
धड़कनों के सामर्थ्य का है. ये क्षण भारत में नई ऊर्जा, नया विश्वास, नई चेतना का है. ये क्षण भारत के उदयमान भाग्य के आह्वान का है. अमृत काल की प्रथम प्रभा में सफलता की ये अमृत वर्षा हुई है. हमने धरती पर संकल्प लिया और चांद पर उसे साकार किया. और हमारे वैज्ञानिक साथियों ने भी कहा, इंडिया इज नाउ ऑन द मून. आज हम अंतरिक्ष में नए भारत की नई उड़ान के साक्षी बने हैं. साथियों, मैं इस समय ब्रिक्स समिट में हिस्सा लेने के लिए दक्षिण अफ्रीका में हूं, लेकिन हर देशवासी की तरह मेरा मन चंद्रयान महाअभियान पर भी लगा हुआ था। नया इतिहास बनते ही हर भारतीय जश्न में डूब गया है। हर घर में उत्सव शुरू हो गया है। हृदय से मैं भी अपने देशवासियों के साथ, अपने परिवारजनों के साथ इस उमंग और उल्लास से जुड़ा हुआ हूं। मैं टीम चंद्रयान को, इसरो को और देश के सभी वैज्ञानिकों को जी जान से बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, जिन्होंने इस पल के लिए वर्षों तक इतना परिश्रम किया है। उत्साह, उमंग, आनंद और भावुकता से भरे इस अद्भुत पल के लिए मैं 140 करोड़ देशवासियों को भी कोटि कोटि बधाइयां देता हूं। मेरे परिवारजनों, हमारे वैज्ञानिकों के परिश्रम और प्रतिभा से भारत चंद्रमा के उस दक्षिणी ध्रुव पर पहुंचा है, जहां आज तक दुनिया का कोई भी देश नहीं पहुंच सका। अब आज के बाद से चांद से जुड़े मिथक बदल जाएंगे, कथानक भी बदल जाएंगे और नई पीढ़ी के लिए कहावतें भी बदल जाएगी। भारत में तो हम सभी लोग धरती को मां कहते हैं और चांद को मामा बुलाते हैं। कभी कहा जाता था, चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं। चंदा मामा बहुत दूर के हैं। अब एक दिन वो भी आएगा जब बच्चे कहा करेंगे, चंदा मामा बस एक टूर के हैं। Friends, on this joyous occasion, I would like to address all the people of the world, the people of every country and region. India's successful moon mission is not just India's alone. This is a year in which the world is witnessing India's G20 presidency. Our approach of one earth, one family, one future is resonating across the globe. This human-centric approach that we present and that we represent has been welcomed universally. Our moon mission is also based on the same human-centric approach. Therefore, this success belongs to all of humanity, and it will help moon missions by other countries in the future. I am confident that all countries in the world, including those from the global south, are capable of achieving such feats. We can all aspire for the moon and beyond. मेरे परिवारजनों, चंद्रयान महाअभियान के ये उपलब्धि भारत की उड़ान को चंद्रमा की कक्षाओं से आगे जाएगी। हम हमारे सौर मंडल की सीमाओं का सामर्थ्य परखेंगे और मानव के लिए ब्रह्मांड की अनेक संभावनाओं को साकार करने के लिए भी जरूर काम करेंगे। हमने भविष्य के लिए कई बड़े और महत्वाकांक्षी लक्ष्य तय किए हैं। जल्द ही सूर्य के विस्तृत अध्ययन के लिए इसरो आदित्य L1 मिशन लॉन्च करने जा रहा है। इसके बाद शुक्र भी इसरो के लक्ष्यों में से एक है। गगनयान के जरिए देश अपने पहले ह्यूमन स्पेस फ्लाइट मिशन के लिए भी पूरी तैयारी के साथ जुटा है। भारत बार बार ये साबित कर रहा है कि स्काई इज नॉट द लिमिट। साथियों, साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी देश के उज्जवल भविष्य का आधार है। इसलिए आज के इस दिन को देश हमेशा हमेशा के लिए याद रखेगा। यह दिन हम सभी को एक उज्जवल भविष्य की ओर बढ़ने के लिए प्रेरित करेगा। ये दिन हमें अपने संकल्पों की सिद्धि का रास्ता दिखाएगा। ये दिन इस बात का प्रतीक है कि हार से सबक लेकर जीत कैसे हासिल की जाती है। एक बार फिर देश के सभी वैज्ञानिकों को बहुत बहुत बधाई और भविष्य के मिशन के लिए ढेरों शुभकामनाएं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
So the first reaction. Were you nervous? So you said you were confident at the start. Your first reaction. Yes, sir, your first reaction. Historic moments of people behind this mission. Dr. Jitendra Singh here with us. I think the ISRO chief is speaking, so he's asking for a little more time. Let's listen.
For being part of our journey to this success, and let me take this opportunity to thank the people behind this mission. The project director of Chandrayaan-3, he is here. Vikram LM, congratulations to you. The associate project director, Kalpana, and the mission operations director, Srikanth. And the satellite was built at your Rao Satellite Center, Shankar and the director. Thank you, sir. Hello.
It's a great moment of happiness on behalf of team. It gives me immense satisfaction on achieving this goal as a project director of this mission. The entire mission operations right from launch till landing happened flawlessly as per the timeline, and we became the fourth country to demonstrate the soft landing onto the moon surface, and we became the first country to go to near to the south pole of the moon. I take this opportunity to thank navigation, guidance and control team, propulsion team, sensors team and all the mainframe subsystems team who have brought success to this mission. I also take the opportunity to thank the Critical Operations Review Committee for thoroughly reviewing the mission operations right from launch till this date. The target was on spot because of the review process. I also thank the ISRO higher management, right from Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, and all the center directors and higher ISRO officials. And finally, my thanks to the Chandrayaan-3 project executives spread across the ISRO centers. Thank you.
Mission Director Srikanth.
It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of Chandrayaan-3 and acting as Mission Director. I would like to thank each and every team member who has supported in carrying out all the mission operations flawlessly. And I would like to thank my senior management, Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, my senior colleagues and my team members for carrying out and supporting all the things carrying out in a proper way. Thank you very much.
Associate Project Director Kalpana.
Good evening to all. This will remain the most memorable and the happiest moment for all of us, for our team Chandrayaan-3. We have achieved our goal flawlessly. From the day we started rebuilding our spacecraft after Chandrayaan-2 experience, it has been breathe in, breathe out Chandrayaan-3 for our team. And starting from the reconfiguration to all the special tests and the simulations we have conducted meticulously. And this has been possible only because of our immense effort from our Chandrayaan-3 team. And of course with the guidance from our Chairman ISRO, our directors and all our experts. With all this, it has been possible. Thank you one and all. Thank you for all the minutest help which has been provided from all the areas of departments. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Chandrayaan-3 is a result of the work done by thousands of scientists, engineers, our staff and industries and support team across ISRO and other places, other institutions. And Shankaran has been the lead of the center which integrated all of these efforts in the last so many years. So I request him to speak on behalf of all of you.
Thank you very much for the affection that has been displayed today now. Today, we have achieved what we set out to achieve in 2019. It was delayed by about 4 years, but we have done it. When Chandrayaan-3 was launched, after the separation of the spacecraft from launch vehicle, I said, I will speak the rest of the things after the soft landing. So here I will take a couple of minutes to tell the tremendous amount of effort that has been put in by the entire project team. When I say project team, it is not just only the project director and associate project director. Of course, they are the face of the project. They have been living, sleeping, eating, breathing Chandrayaan for the last 4 years. They have been supported by such a large number of people, particularly in the navigation, guidance and control area, propulsion system. This area, the amount of effort that has been put by people, the number of simulations that have been done, the number of reviews they have gone through, the amount of criticism they faced and overcome that. It is, as a person who has been watching this for the last 4 years along with them, my heart goes out for them. The amount of effort is tremendous. That is what ISRO is all about. That is what our organization has taught us to do. Now today this success has put us even more higher responsibility, as the Honorable Prime Minister was telling. because we have set the bar now so high. Nothing less than nothing less spectacular than this is going to be inspiring for any of us in the future. So as the Honorable Prime Minister mentioned, we will be now looking at putting the man in space, putting a spacecraft around Venus, and landing a craft in Mars. Work on all these activities are going on for few years, and this success today will inspire us and will spur us to take those efforts even more strongly, so that we will make our country proud again and again and again. Thank you very much for every one of you who have directly or indirectly participated in this mission, encouraged us, intentionally or unintentionally helped us in all for every one of you. A big thank you, because even casual remark, an unintended point can help a person who is striving to reach a goal. The person who is making that remark may not have meant it that way, but sometimes it can ignite that's why I said that even unintended help is very, very, very welcome, and we are very, very thankful for that. Thank you, Team ISRO, for supporting all of us. The amount of affection we received when this mission came into this final stage, the number of people who gave us confidence that nothing can go wrong and this is going to be successful. In fact, I was not that much confident, because we have seen a couple of times issues, because I know very well as a person who has been doing in this domain for 36 years, I know there are thousands of things. Any of that can anytime go wrong and derail. But so many of the people, because that I only see as the reflection of the effort we have put, that people are so happy to see this effort and they want us to succeed. It is not that they know that we are going to succeed. The people want us to succeed. So thank you very much for everyone for your love and affection. We will continue to do our best and make our flag fly, ISRO's as well as India's flag fly high. Thank you very much.
Honorable Prime Minister called me and conveyed his greetings to each one of you and your family, for the wonderful work you did in ISRO. So thanks are to him for the support that he is giving to us for missions like Chandrayaan-3 and the missions that are in the offing. I think that's a great word of comfort that we are receiving for pursuing the inspirational work that we are doing for the nation. I want to tell you, and I want to thank you also for each and everyone who prayed with us in the last many days, who wanted this success to happen in ISRO. I thank all those people all around the country and maybe beyond the country for their blessings and wishes and affection that he has given to each one of us for doing this work for the last so many years. I want to specifically thank some senior people who have been standing with us, especially the name of Kiran Kumar sir and Mr. Kamalakar, Sri Koteshwar Rao. They have been helping so much. They were part of the team to help them to get the confidence and get the reviews done to ensure that nothing goes with any mistakes. And of course, this is not the work of us alone. This is a work of a generation of ISRO leadership and ISRO scientists. And this is a journey we started in Chandrayaan-1, continued in Chandrayaan-2, and Chandrayaan-2 craft is still working and doing a lot of communication work with us. And all the team that contributed to building Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2 should be remembered and thanked while we celebrate Chandrayaan-3. And this is an incremental progress and definitely a great, huge one it is. And thank you so much for all the support and work that you have done. Thank you.
Chief there, Somanathan, congratulating the entire team of scientists, engineers, ISRO leadership. What a proud, proud moment this is for each and every one of them, their families, their loved ones, as billion-plus Indians join them in celebrating what is a landmark moment, the kind of scenes. All right, K. Sivan, the former ISRO chief, is now reacting. Let's listen in.
Success of this Chandrayaan-3 mission.
Also, the government was very much keen with you, sir. They were supporting in every moment of time.
Yes, definitely the government is with us and they are supporting, and they also will be very, very happy to see this happy moment.
Now, the countries like US and Russia and many other such space agent, biggest countries which we call, sir, they are also very keen, seems, sir, that to contact and have in touch with you after we are successful in the Chandrayaan-3.
Definitely, because this Chandrayaan-3, the science data, it is not only for India, it is for the global scientists. So this data that the scientists will be using globally, and they will discover some new things from this data. That way, it is interest for the entire global interest is there.
So you are very much thankful and you look very happy at this point of time, sir.
Yes, definitely. It's very happy that to see this one.
Sir, he wants to take one photo with this. Okay.
And this is also a vindication of the dream which our forefather, which our founding father Vikram Sarabhai saw 6 decades ago. And the manner in which Vikram Sarabhai started the yatra on the carriage of a bicycle, and it's been a quantum leap in the recent few years. I think we owe to thank Prime Minister Modi for having made this possible. PM Modi unlocked the space and gave us this enabling milieu where we could give full outlet to our potentials, our aptitudes, our talents, and the results are there for all of you. We have reached the South Pole, which no one else had done.
Sir, were you nervous? We saw you timing your watch also. Were you nervous, sir?
Not nervous, but yes, of course, in this entire journey, all of us, there are some certain moments which I avoid more keenly than the other moments for all those who have been involved in this mission. Personally, for me, the first such occasion was when the Chandrayaan had to move out of the...
It's a matter of great pride, not just for me, for India, the scientists in ISRO, but for the entire world. It's not a small task to land on the South Pole with all the resources at our disposal. And I think the Indian scientists have created history, not just because they managed to do it, but also at the cost at which they have managed to do it. And I'm so happy, and I'm so happy for Nambi sir, because his Vikas engine has yet again proved to be the workhorse of ISRO. And I'm... this means a lot for Indian space industry, and I'm very, very glad that we are on the verge of creating such a spectacular piece of history, space history, and I'm praying hard like the rest of the country is.
Being given a full outlet, so he gave us a milieu where we could express ourselves, and today we have proved to the world we had all the talent, we had all the aptitude, we had all the capabilities. Maybe we didn't have the kind of an enabling milieu for which we were waiting. Prime Minister Modi made that happen. And within a short span, you have seen the wonders. We are now in the frontline nation. We have reached the South Pole. And now the world is looking up to us for cues. It's
not just reach first ever country to be on the South Pole.
Absolutely. So gone are the days when India was expected to look up to the other countries for cues. Now the other countries, some of them who had started the space journey much before us, are actually looking up to us for cues, for pictures, for clues, and also for very important inferences which are going to be available from the Chandrayaan.
So you were constantly looking at your watch. That 15 minutes of terror was playing on your mind?
No, I think that's because, unlike friends like you, I had been conscious about the timeline, so I knew what would happen at 15 minutes, what would happen, and at what time it will be at 15 kilometers. So that's a very critical time, from 30 kilometers downwards. And at 15, because that is a time, then we lose it. It's like, you leave the steering and let the vehicle move on its own. So the spaceship was taking all the decisions on its own. The cameras and sensors trying to locate the precise position where they have to land in the radius of 4 kilometers. And God forbid if it doesn't happen after
after a reasonable amount of time, because then the signal is go, no go. So one has to be guarded against not listening to no go. So that timeline consciousness, I think, was
But
very
you were also confident that things will go off so smoothly.
Absolutely, because so much of labor, toil has gone. We also were very conscious of some of the inadequacies of the past. The design was different.
That was the MOS Science and Technology talking about what an incredible moment this is for ISRO. We have our battery of reporters from Bengaluru, the Mission Operations Control. We have Harish who's joining us. Srishti is also there joining us. And Purnima is there with a bunch of students in Chennai. Harish, I can see sort of wild celebrations right behind you. There's a big screen. The ISRO scientists and the team that worked on this, they are celebrating. What's the mood there at Mission Control?
Well, the mood is upbeat. In fact, we've had a bunch of ISRO staff here who were present, and all of them waiting for that news, and all of them going up in celebration. Even now, you can see behind me that giant screen which was relaying visuals straight from the Mission Operation Complex here in Bengaluru. All of them have, remember, as one of the scientists pointed out, ever since the failure of Chandrayaan-2, all of them, all that they have done is work on Chandrayaan-3 day in, day out, and ensuring that this mission is successful. At the same time, many of them are not losing out on an opportunity to mention that they have their focus on, even now, they're talking about perhaps putting a spacecraft on...
All right, Harish, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We're just going to go across to Mr. Somanathan, the chairman of ISRO, who is joining us. Thank you very much, sir. Your first reaction, many congratulations. What is the mood there at the tracking center at the MOC?
We are all very jubilant to see the success of the Chandrayaan-3. It has landed exactly with the speed that we expected. Very soft landing, and we are all excited to see that it has reached this situation so that we can do further experiments.
What was the last few minutes for you? You were sitting there with previous ISRO chiefs as well. The senior leadership team was sitting there with you. What was the last few moments like for you and your team?
You know, we were very sure about it making this time, so we were not missed at all. And it was exactly following the track and the trajectory that it was destined to go. So we were all very comfortable to see it traveling as expected.
Was there any moment where you felt like, memories from 4 years ago were coming back?
Now, I know that we learned from those memories, those experiences, so there is nothing to be worried about what happened in the past. So we did what we can, and that we achieved it. So there is nothing that is so anxious about that.
Sir, a word of appreciation for the team, the project team, the mission team. They've spent their almost lifetime building this project.
Yes. In fact, the Chandrayaan journey started with Chandrayaan-1. It is a journey of last so many years. And reaching up to the moon itself was a big challenge during Chandrayaan-1, which we perfected. And later in Chandrayaan-2, we did it. And now also we could do the launching as well as reaching moon and capturing in orbit very safely. But the challenge of landing softly is always an enigma for anybody. So that has been broken this time, and we made it successfully. So we are extremely happy about that. The thought process, the hard work, and the testing that the team did for last so many years.
So what happens next? When do we start getting data from the rover as well as from the lander about what it's discovering?
We have to have many initial conditions checks, the health verifications, communication links for scientific data, and after that we will be getting ready for the rover to come out. Before that itself, there are a lot of processes like the RAM opening, RAM latching, and then the rover will come out. It will take few hours to confirm that.
And sir, in terms of what this means for future missions, the Gaganyaan, the Aditya mission, and then of course there is the Mangalyaan as well.
Honorable Prime Minister was addressing us, and he was mentioning about all of that. He mentioned about the Aditya L1 mission, the mission that we have for future like the Venus and the Gaganyaan as well. So all of these are in the offing, and we are working very hard to achieve those targets. Aditya L1 is scheduled for next month itself, and we will be following up with the rest of those exploratory missions, science missions that we are in the drawing board as well as in the planning.
Mr. Somnath, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That is the first reaction from the ISRO chairman, Mr. Somnath, who has just spoken exclusively to CNN News 18, the first channel that he has spoken to right after those incredible and historic scenes that were seen at Mission Operations Control Let's also quickly cut into BJP President JP Nadda, who's speaking on this historic occasion of India landing on the moon.
खर्च पर क्वालिटी सेवा उपलब्ध करा रहा है। हमारा मंगलयान मिशन काफी सफल रहा है। मंगलयान अपने लाइफ स्पैन से ज्यादा चला है। फाइनल स्टेज पर लैंडिंग में स्पीड काफी महत्वपूर्ण हो जाती है। हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने इस मिशन में अभूतपूर्व कार्य किया है। अब दुनिया स्पेस के क्षेत्र में हमें एक पावर के रूप में देख रही है। अमेरिका ने भी अपने स्पेस मिशन में हमें शामिल करने का आग्रह किया है। मैं एक बार पुनः इस ऐतिहासिक उपलब्धि के लिए देश के वैज्ञानिकों को बधाई देता हूं और इस अविस्मरणीय पल की अनुभूति दिलाने के लिए देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं। भाजपा की ओर से मैं इस महान क्षण के लिए देश की जनता को बधाई देता हूं और इस सफलता के लिए सभी को बधाई देता हूं।
BJP President JP Nadda there talking about this historic achievement, and what an achievement indeed this has been. India has conquered the moon. That is the big headline. That is what we will see across newspapers and television channels, global headlines, because India is now on the moon. The Tiranga has been planted on the moon. Let's go back to our reporters. We have with us Srishti, who's joining us from the Mission Operations Control in Bengaluru, and we also have Yasha joining us from Mumbai. Srishti, if I can come to you first, just in terms of what this moment means for ISRO scientists. Of course, for many of them, this is their lifetime's work. What happens from here on?
Well, the big smile on my face says it all. ISRO chairman, Mr. S. Somnath, has just reached the center here and he's going to talk to the media persons. But just to brief everybody, this is definitely a big moment for India, as this is the first time we have achieved a successful landing on the moon. Years of hard work put in by the scientists from across the country, from different institutions who have worked together to make this mission successful. And the landing process went as planned. It was a very smooth process and the touchdown was very beautiful. If you had just seen the way the fine braking phase and the rest of the phases went, so it was as smooth as expected, and this actually explains why ISRO was so confident during the entire preparation stage this time. ISRO chief had earlier mentioned that no matter what happens, the lander of Chandrayaan-3 will land on the moon, and it has successfully landed on the moon. Now the next stage is the verification of all the parameters of the lander. The scientists are going to monitor the health of the spacecraft, and then the lander will begin to roll out the platform for the rover to come out, and the rover is going to move on the lunar surface. So the lander has about 4 payloads on it, the rover has 2, and when everything goes right, both the payloads will get activated and start collecting data. With this big scientific mission, ISRO really wants to understand the atmosphere of the moon. It really wants to understand what is the mineral composition of the lunar surface, how it is changing. Remember, the moon, yes.
All right, let me also go across to Yasha, who's joining us from Mumbai. Yasha, I believe you have a bunch of school kids with you. Schools across the country have been sending out relay messages, asking kids to tune in to YouTube channels, to watch this historic moment. Just take us through what this means for all of them.
So yes, so what you see is there are a bunch of school kids here. You will see a Chandrayaan in their hands. Kids, please show your Chandrayaan. They are all gathered here ever since this afternoon. They've made a mini Chandrayaan. There is a Vikram lander. There is a Pragyan rover as well. And there is also a propulsion engine that all of these kids have made. They are in fact quite excited for them. It's almost like witnessing a history in making. And considering that they've all made a miniature of Chandrayaan, they're really excited. They're all gathered here at Nehru Science Center and had made this miniature Chandrayaan. We speak to one of the kids here and try and understand what this means to you. Tell us what this means to you. You know, having witnessed this entire history in making, you all saw that the Chandrayaan-3 landed on moon. What did it mean to you?
It meant really the most to me, as India, in its very first try, tried to achieve the moon, and it was really very successful. We had seen that Chandrayaan-1 and the Chandrayaan-2 missions were really very unsuccessful for us, as in the last 20 to 15 minutes of terror, we had lost it. But India, in the very first try, has tried to reach the moon, and it has showed the whole world that we are still not the underdogs and we are the developed nation and we can showcase the whole world our talents and
All right.
our
ISRO has
capabilities
certainly
to the
shown
whole
the world what it is capable of. We have an audio of the Prime Minister speaking to the ISRO Chairman S. Somnath right after the successful landing of the Vikram lander. Let's play that out for you just right now.
जी, आपका तो नाम सोमनाथ और सोमनाथ नाम चंद्र से जुड़ा हुआ है और इसलिए आज आपके परिवारजन भी बहुत आनंदित होंगे। मेरी तरफ से आपको, आपकी पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई और सबको मेरी तरफ से अभिनंदन कह दीजिए और हो सके उतना जल्दी मैं आप सबको रूबरू में भी बधाई दूंगा। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और बहुत बहुत बधाई। ओके, नमस्कार।
Yourself and for your courage and strength to support us. Thank you so much. ISRO is planning many missions in the coming days. Our immediate mission is Aditya L1, and Aditya L1 spacecraft is a mission to study the sun, especially the corona of the sun, the processes that take place. The satellite is called Aditya L1. It's already integrated and it has moved to Sriharikota, and possibly it will be integrated with a rocket maybe today, tomorrow. And we are planning to have a launch on the first week of September. Everything is going as per plan, and after the launch, and this launch will go to an elliptical orbit, and from that it will travel to the Lagrangian L1 point, which will take almost 120 days plus. It will be placed in that orbit, and it will do continuous observation of sun unobstructed by the sun, moon or earth. So that is what we are trying to do. There are 7 instruments on board Aditya L1. Now let me complete some more of the missions. The next mission which we are trying to do is the Gaganyaan abort mission demonstration using a test vehicle. For this also the preparations are very well going on. We are targeting to have it on in the end of September or possibly first week of October. So everything is going as per plan. After that we have a GSLV mission for INSAT 3DS, the weather forecasting mission. We also have a mission in PSLV which is scheduled now, and we also have to have the SSLV D3 mission, which is the third development flight of SSLV. So this much is for a short time of next 3 months. And further years I should not announce at this moment because we are working very hard to achieve those targets. Thank you so much. अगले 14 दिन में हमारे ये रोवर है ना, विक्रम लैंडर की हेल्थ कंडीशंस हमको चेक करना है. इसके बाद the Pragyan rover will come out. Pragyan rover will come out in next maybe a few hours. Sometimes it may take 1 day as well, depending upon the conditions. Then each of the instruments will be deployed. There are many instruments. There is an instrument called REMBA, which will be deploying to study the geophysical parameters of the regolith. Then there is an ILSA, which will measure the seismic activity. Then there is, REMBA is going to measure the atmosphere, the charged atmosphere of the moon. And there is a Chaste, which is going to pierce on the surface of the moon and then measure the thermophysical properties of the regolith. Then we have a ILSA payload, which will be lowered from the moon craft, that is Vikram. It will be lowered using some ropes. It will touch the surface and measure the seismic activity on the moon. And once the Pragyan rover comes out, there will be 2 important experiments, and both of them are linked with the elemental composition and chemical composition of the surface of the moon. The first experiment will be using a laser beam. We will send a laser beam from the rover on the material. It will fuse it, and then it will generate some spectroscopic information which will identify elements there. Another experiment is related to an alpha particle which will be emitted by the radioactive material sitting there, and that will generate certain X-ray fluorescence on the surface, and that will be measured to find out the chemical composition. So these are the main experiments that are on board Chandrayaan-3 now. Shall I answer in English? Okay, so say the most difficult part of the mission is to launch itself. Say the GSLV Mark 3, you should not forget that GSLV Mark 3, LVM3 has done the job of putting it in the right orbit very first time. It went to 36,500 kilometers. From that, we did all that up to translunar injection. It worked very well. And captured on the moon. So the first critical event is the launch. The second critical event is called the landing and capturing on the moon. If you miss it by your calculation, then it's gone. We cannot retrieve it and there is no mission. So this is the second critical mission. The third critical thing is called this separation of the lander and the orbiter, which happened in the appropriate time. This is again after so many days of spending in orbit, the mechanism has to work without any problem. So it worked very well. And the last critical moment is, of course, that you have watched along with us. That's it. I'll take it. You. Okay, success of Chandrayaan-3 meaning for the future exploration. I think it's all clear to you. I don't have to tell. Say, when it is such a tough journey for going to moon and landing, soft landing, which is very difficult for any nation to achieve today, even with the advancement of technology, and we achieving it in just two missions. The first mission had a narrow miss, and now we achieved it so perfectly. It gives confidence to configure missions to not only going to moon, going to Mars, sometimes land on the Mars, maybe in the future going to Venus and other planets, and also sometimes go beyond asteroids and others. We should think about it. I think you should all support us to plan such missions with a very, very cost-effective mission. Nobody in the world can ever do like this what we do, and nobody will be able to succeed maybe in the minimum most attempts. So I request each one of your support, encouragement. The whole of the nation should be behind us to do this. मुश्किल था. So we went through lot of pain, a lot of agony. I must tell you, the people behind Chandrayaan-2 are still there. They are part of the Chandrayaan-3 team. I think none of them you know today, but the project director of the Chandrayaan-2 is a senior reviewer of Chandrayaan-3, and most of the people who are in Chandrayaan-2 are with us, helping us to do the Chandrayaan-3. So they are part of this. And they have gone through such an agony of understanding what went wrong. It went about almost a year of thrashing them to find out and looking at the data so much. And the whole of this team, I don't think they would have slept very well in the last so many years. I think the credit goes to those people who have spent enough amount of time, but equal amount of time has been spent by our seniors, some of the retired colleagues who sat with them to find out how it can be improved this time. So my salutations to all such people those are unsung heroes today. They are not in the seat, but my congratulations to all such people.
Sir, Rajiv Mishra from Rajasthan Patrika. Sir, here. Hello, sir.
See, Honorable Prime Minister was kind enough to call me, and he connected my name to the Chandrayaan mission. Of course, I am very proud of that. And he conveyed his greetings to all the scientists in ISRO for the wonderful work they did. Naturally, all of us are proud of that, as I mentioned earlier. And he is very clear about the long-term vision. He wants to make sure that we remain very, very dominant in the area of space exploration and science. It's important for the nation. He is so clear about the Amrit Kal when he was put forth. And we have presented him these ideas and concepts, and I'm very hopeful that he will be supporting us to continue these missions, exploratory missions, science missions, in addition to what is important for societal and commercial needs. Thank you. See, she is asking about the cost effectiveness of this mission, and I think I don't want to explain all the secrets, because if I tell the secrets, the others will learn and they will become very cost effective.
Sir.
See, ISRO already strong.
Sir.
It will be.
Sir, Rajiv Mishra from Rajasthan Patrika. Rajiv Mishra, sir, hello. Sir, Rajiv, sir. Sir, here, sir, here. Sir, here.
say we must also thank, I think there is a question on who all helped us to achieve this mission. And we must thank all those nations which came forth to help us in Chandrayaan-3 mission. We had support from USA, the NASA, the support from ESA, as well as our colleagues in other scientific organizations in this country. Especially the support came in form of ground stations, the tracking support. You know, from India alone, you cannot see the Chandrayaan-3 all the time. We need other ground stations. One in Australia helped us in Canberra, one in New Inertia helped us, one in UK helped us, and another in NASA's control. And all these ground stations were beaming the data to us, and we were able to get a lot of information, real-time information, and command uplink. Everything happened because of this. The second help came from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, JPL, and they were also estimating the position of the Chandrayaan-3 very accurately using their technology and passing on the information to us, which gave us confidence to work on the mission design, trajectory design of the final phase of the mission. So thanks to all of them for their support.
Sir, सबसे पहले sir राजीव मिश्रा here, sir here, sir here.
No, I wish to hand it over to my teammates.
Sir.
You can ask them the question.
Sir.
Please, one by one. Please, don't come.
सोमनाथ सर
एक मिनट कर देंगे नहीं कंफर्टेबली नहीं आप लोगों के लिए है कर देंगे
सोमनाथ सर सवाल सर सोमनाथ सर
प्लीज मिशन डायरेक्टर to come please wait please patience we definitely will give
sir सोमनाथ सर
definitely video photo don't restless
sir here sir मेरे दो सवाल है सर मेरे दो सवाल sir
no, there is a question to me.
मेरे दो सवाल है सर
There is a question to me about the technology strength of what we have done, and I must also tell you that the technology that we have in Chandrayaan-3 is no far less complex or inferior to any other technology that goes to the moon. So we have the best of the sensors of the world, the best in the class in the Chandrayaan-3. And I can tell you one story of Chandrayaan-2 to Chandrayaan-3. There is an instrument called the laser Doppler velocimeter was added in Chandrayaan-3, which was developed by one of the laboratory of ISRO. And this is a world-class instrument capable of measuring the velocity. And our cameras, which are put on board, developed by Space Applications Center Ahmedabad, gave those beautiful pictures from the moon. And the inertial system package, which measures the orientation velocity made by the ISRO Inertial System Center. And our rockets are one of the best that put it in the right orbit. And we will have engines and liquid propulsion made in India by LPSC, the Liquid Propulsion Center of ISRO. So it's a made in India craft. So the capability that we have today is as good as anybody.
सर सोमनाथ सर यहाँ पे सर यहाँ पे
Now we'll take some photos. Okay.
सर सोमनाथ सर
आपका तो नाम सोमनाथ और सोमनाथ नाम चंद्र से जुड़ा हुआ है और इसलिए आज आपके परिवारजन भी बहुत आनंदित होंगे। मेरी तरफ से आपको, आपकी पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई और सबको मेरी तरफ से अभिनंदन कह दीजिए और हो सके उतना जल्दी मैं आप सबको रूबरू में भी बधाई दूंगा। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और बहुत बहुत बधाई।
I also want to go across to Nambi Narayanan, who's joining us first and exclusively for his reaction after that historic moment, golden moment for India, touching down on the south pole of the lunar surface, never achieved before. Mr. Narayanan, thanks a lot for speaking to us. For the space community, of course, this is a huge, huge achievement, and you've contributed to India's space journey. But what do you think it means for India and the entire world today to achieve a feat like this?
Yeah, sure, it is. It is a great achievement, and
certainly I feel proud of it, and I am not only happy but also excited. So that's what it is. Yeah, tell me.
It's been a long time coming, sir, isn't it? Of course, India has been working, it has been behind a few other nations, it hasn't had the budgets that some of the others have had, or even the focus on space exploration. But the kind of strides we have made in the last 10-20 years are truly remarkable.
No, but I differ from you in some sense, in the sense there was no dearth of funds for the past at least 5, 6, 10 years.
Yes.
But the whole thing is we have announced a certain private participation in the space sector, which would mean that there will be funding coming from outside ISRO or outside the exchequer. So that way you will have no problem with the funding, but the problem is that we have to plan it well and then